Hello friends, welcome back to mckilliplife. My name is Amber and this is the end of our moving vlog. So I'm going to call this day 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to sum it all up because the last 3 days I have yet to record anything. And the pace is definitely slowed down. We're getting into more of a rhythm of living here, sort of. But like I said, I haven't recorded any videos, so I just decided to sit down and give a little chat as to what's been happening. And this has been my very, very fancy planner recently. It's just a yellow pad and a list of things that I would like to accomplish each day. And each day the list gets a little bit shorter. So let's get into it. On Wednesday, it was our first day waking up here at home, and my goal was to completely get us out of the rental. On the previous day, I had almost got everything out, but I didn't quite do it, and we basically just had to call it a night and say, what are the essential things? And a lot of the last things that we brought home were the dog kennels, the dog food, dog water, all the accoutrements for the puppies so they can come home with us that night. And we can have our first night on Tuesday at home. So on Wednesday morning, I went to the rental and corralled all of the last things all into the living room and got us completely out of every single other room. Sorry, the dining room. Because when you come in through the garage, you enter into the dining room. And so that's the most central room of the whole house. And we had things like, we had brought over some chairs for a temporary office for us to sit in. We had the folding table for the temporary office. We had all the blankets I had over all the furniture protecting it from the dogs. We had my plants. I had 4 different plants that were in a window that needed to be brought back home. We had a little temporary filing cabinet I had set up so I could do office work. Let's think. Some random things like we had a curtain pole in the laundry room to hang laundry on. Just odds and ends like that. So I corralled everything into the dining room and then started the process of resetting all the rooms to the best of my memory as to how they were set up when we got there. The living room, we definitely rearranged the furniture, and they had a fancy chair in the master bedroom that we ended up moving out to the living room because we needed space for our home office. So there's lots of just furniture rearranging, and then we had collected all their decorations and all their things for the kitchen and put them into one of the unused cupboards and closets. And so it was a matter of unpacking those and putting them back out. And then the fun project of sorting through all the extra linens, because they had given us multiple extra towels and extra changes of bedding, and we ended up just using our own. So just try to sort those out and put them back where they belong. And so probably I had an appointment around 1:15, so Wes met me over there to pick me up so we can ride together. And once my appointment was done, we came back and started the process of loading up the vehicles. So I had one load of stuff in my car. You singing to us? Yeah. You're gonna sing forever and ever? You singing to the peoples? Yeah. So my car became all the things to come home, mostly like fragile stuff like plants and plant lights, that sort of thing. And then in the truck, we had things to return to our mom that we had borrowed, and then larger items that needed to come home. And so we were able to do one drop off at her house and then come back and unload here at home and it be officially out of the house. At that point, the only things left in the rental were cleaning supplies that I thought might be useful for the next day. And the evening at home, we did run over to Walmart and look for some rugs, because now that we have tile throughout the house, it turns out that the clearance between my doors and the floor are much, much smaller. And so all my rugs I had put down. Really? Really? Some of them just, they don't work. The doors won't open over the rugs anymore. And so we need to replace them or find alternatives. And rugs are really important for my house because we have the permanent doggy door and our backyard is not really landscaped, so there's lots of dirt and dust that come in. And so I was desperate to have some sort of rug set up, especially in the back door where the dogs were tracking in mud from the gentle mist we were having all day long. So we went over to Walmart and just looked for odds and ends that we needed. And when it came back, since the grout had been repaired, we were able to move our cadenza back to where it belongs and set up a folding table for my plants to go on temporarily until I find a good table for them. So that concluded Wednesday. And Thursday, it is very hard for me to say that I can't do something. It's very hard for me to say I'm overwhelmed, I'm at capacity, I can't take on anything else. And this last week I got to that point and basically told West, if we want the rental cleaned well, I can't do it. I don't have the ability to do that, as well as start working on setting up our home and try to just physically recover from the whole process. So we ended up hiring some ladies to come in and clean the rental. And they happen to be the same people who do housekeeping for my mother-in-law. So they were so kind to get us quickly on the schedule. I wanted it to be landing on Thursday so that we're not officially out of the rental until Friday. So we'd have a day to go back in and just do any touch-ups that we think that needed to be done after the fact. So my main goal on Thursday was to meet the ladies at the house, let them in, and give them directions, and then be available to close up the house and pay them. So I headed in there, met them, and then I had a whole list of just shopping and errands I needed to do in the meantime. So I'm looking at my list over here. I had a blood test that needed to be done. I needed to go to Walmart and do a return and get some breakfast sausage for us. I needed to go to Sam's and pick up a fresh package of toilet paper and paper towels for this house. I wanted to go over to Target and look at options for a plant stand of sorts. It was that time of the month that I needed to refill my pills and take an inventory to see what I needed to order for the next month. Wanted to work on YouTube videos. So lots of just random errands and chores that needed to be done in the meantime as they were working on the house. But I was very grateful that we had the money to spare to pay for that because I didn't have it in me to do it. When I was there on Wednesday, I did do some light cleaning. It's like I had the vacuum out and I was getting the bulk of the animal fur off the ground. If I saw a lot of like nose smears from this dog bumping into things, you know, I was wiping those up. So I was doing light cleaning as I was going along, but they were there to do a deep clean. And so I was very grateful for them to come in and do that. And on Thursday evening, let me think. Some essential things got unpacked here at the house. I emptied out our bathtub where lots of things had just got tossed in there and let it reset so I could actually take a shower, which was wonderful. And I unpacked the silverware, so we actually have real silverware to use. And I wanted to run a load of laundry, so I found the laundry soap in all our accoutrements and put them in the cupboard. So essential things are being unpacked at this point. So that brings us up to today, which is Friday. And our main goal for today was to go over to the rental and do last looks and any last things so we could officially turn in the keys. So that was this morning, and West and I went over there, and he spent time picking up dog poo in the backyard. There's this area in front of the shower where you get hard water deposits there. I worked on scrubbing that some more and getting it as clean as I could. There was the house was very odd in that when you walked up to a window the size of a door. And people always thought that was the front door, but it's not actually the front door. But when you walk in, it definitely gives you an impression of cleanliness. And so I went ahead and washed the outside of that window, because if you walk in and look at it, just grime and dirt. And then I spent time actually pulling out their paints and doing paint touch-ups where there was little spots on the walls and the doors and that sort of thing. Because our goal was to turn it back into them better, or if not as good as they had given us the house, so that there is absolutely no excuse for us to get our full deposit back, because it's a rather large deposit, and right now that would be very helpful. So as of noon on Friday, the 10th day, we are officially done with the move. We've turned in the keys, the rental's no longer ours, and we are officially living in one place. Whereas throughout this process, we lived in at least 3 places at the same time. Having our stuff here, working on stuff here, living with mom, helping her recover from surgery, setting up the rental, living there a little bit, So today is a big, big day to say we are officially home. We're officially living in one place. We're not responsible for other places at this point. And we can just focus on what we need to do to make this a home. So this officially concludes our moving vlog. From here on, I think I'm going to retitle these the unpacking vlogs, because that's what it's going to be. If you have a better name for it, please let me know, because the process is going to be unpacking, setting up my home, reconsidering the things that we have. It's like even today, West and I, after lunch, I said, can we go through one box? And we were going through boxes for the closet in our dining room, which is basically just a utility closet where all sorts of household things get put. So we very simply went through one box, and we probably kept half of the contents, and the other half were either a couple donations and just a lot of trash. Like there was some lights that once you opened them up, they were corroded inside because of batteries. It's like, well, those aren't good anymore. So we're officially in the process of focusing only on our home and bringing it back into a place of peace and order and rest and a retreat from the world. So thank you for sticking with us through this adventure. We still have things that need to be completed in our house. We went through our punch list, and there are still outstanding 14 items out of the 40 some odd items that were originally on it. So there's still things that need to be done to complete it. The majority of them are finish work, like finished carpentry that needs to be fixed. That one major thing left is the missing outlet in the kitchen. So we'll see how that gets resolved. And the other big financial thing is being paid back for the broken storage unit that we have now ordered a replacement for. But all of that will come down to the contractor and just walking through the steps with him to complete everything. So thank you for joining us, and please stay tuned for the process of putting our house back together and continue on into whatever adventure comes next. Until next time, feel free to like and subscribe. Have a great day.